and welcome to the news on NTA International. You can watch this news on Vision TV 247 and other social media platforms displayed on your screen. I'm Nancy Godi Angunihu, and on sign language is Courage Ogeriahi. First, the headlines. President Tinubu inaugurates a steering committee for implementation of National Single Window Project. Nigeria's First Lady assures traditional rulers in Ogun State of present administration's commitment towards building a prosperous nation. Plus, as conflict in Sudan marks 1 year, commander of Rapid Support declares readiness for nationwide ceasefire and negotiations. President Bola Tinubu has inaugurated the steering committee on the implementation of National Single Window Project, describing it as a transformative project that will propel the nation's economy to new heights. The president at the inauguration called on Nigerians to support the initiative as it is a symbol for a better future for the nation. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
Our economic growth has been hindered by the complexities and inefficiencies in our trade processes. Today, we say there should be no more.
The paperless trade alone is estimated to bring an annual economic benefit of estimated $2.7 billion, and the president said it is time for Nigeria to join their ranks and reap the reward of a streamlined, decentralized trade process.
The national single window is not just about Nigeria. By linking our system with those of other African nations, we will expedite cargo movement and optimize inter-Africa trade. This initiative is a testament to our commitment to regional integration and our belief in the power of collaboration.
His assurance is creating a more transparent, secure and business-friendly environment that will attract investment and spur economic growth.
The implementation of National Single Window will not be an overnight process, I know. It will require dedication, collaboration, and a phased approach. But I assure you, my fellow brothers and sisters, that we are fully committed to seeing this project through. We will work tirelessly to ensure its success, engaging all partner agencies and stakeholders to create a system that works for every one of us.
The project is a decisive window through data harmonization to improve trade facilitation, revenue generation, economic growth, transparency, security, and streamline processes that will transform the country into a global trade powerhouse.
The National Single Window is not just a technological advancement. It is the gateway to a more connected, efficient, and transparent system. By linking our ports, government agencies, and key stakeholders, we will create a seamless ecosystem that will facilitate, save time for business, and open up a world of opportunity, from providing access to education and healthcare to enabling small business to reach global markets. Digital connectivity is the key to unlocking Nigeria's true potential.
Ending this inaugural meeting marks a new era of unyielding commitment to prosperity, efficiency, and endless possibilities, symbolizing determination to build a better future and show the world that Nigeria is ready to take its rightful place as one of the leaders in global trade. From the State House, Abdurrahman Jibrila, NTA News.
Of the reforms of the federal government to ensure effective policing is the complete overhaul of institutions and mindset of officers into a modern-day internal security standard. Vice President Kashim Shettima stated this at the maiden edition of the Nigeria Police Awards and Commendations ceremony held at the Transcorp Hilton, Abuja. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports again.
Dedication, courage and selflessness, complementing them with training and capacity building to equip officers and men of the police with the expertise are part of the requirements needed to carry out the tasks of modern policing. And the approval of the first week of April as Police Week and the last day of the week as National Police Day is another step towards ensuring effective policing.
We are upgrading our equipment and technology to enhance operational effectiveness and efficiency. This includes acquiring fit-for-purpose equipment, weapons, ammunition, and armored carriers to provide cover and protection for officers in combat situations. These endeavors will be supported by suitable measures to enhance the status of our officers and personnel both during their service and after retirement.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and other speakers at the event commended the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, for recognizing the hard work, resilience and patriotism of the officers and men of the police force, acknowledging that the decision to celebrate the nation's heroes will pave way for a new police force.
As the leader of the National Assembly, I pledge our full cooperation and support of the entire legislature in Nigeria to ensure better policing through oversight functions, through budgetary provisions, and through other means of reform.
Since the commencement of the current federal government policy reforms, we have witnessed very significant improvements in the security, safety of lives and properties.
The good news by the government at this event is assurance to equip the police officers with the knowledge, skills, values and expertise required to tackle the complex challenges of modern policing to enhance operational effectiveness and efficiency of the force. In Abuja, Abdurrahman Jibrila, NTA News.
And talking gender development, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has assured traditional rulers in Ogun State of her willingness to listen to their thoughts and royal counsel towards building a nation that is prosperous. She gave the assurance in Abuja, the Ogun State capital, during a meeting with the 4 paramount rulers in the state. The meeting was held in the state governor's office ahead of the flag-off of the Renewed Hope Initiative Women Agricultural Support Program for women farmers in the Southwest. Appreciating the traditional rulers for their support to the Bola Tinubu administration, the First Lady says the target is to build a nation that is conducive for all.
God, the strength God gives us to do this, I believe that we have a nation we deserve more. So you can really count on me that I will do my best. I won't disappoint you, our fathers, because you've known me a long time. And, you can always count on us. And we are waiting. If you have anything you believe we are supposed to do, the governor is here, having listening ear, so we can do what will benefit us as Nigerians and also our people.
The Akaribo of Remo Land, Oba Babatunde Adewale Ajayi, who spoke on behalf of the monarchs, applauded her interventions, adding that her home state is proud of her antecedents and contributions to national growth. Meanwhile, the Renewed Hope Initiative Women Agricultural Support Program of Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has been kicked off in Kebbi State for the northwestern states. Wife of the Speaker, Fatima Tajuddin Abbas, who kicked off the program on behalf of the First Lady, said the program is not just to encourage more women to go into agriculture, but to improve their livelihoods.
Initiative Agriculture Support Program is offering grants to women in the agricultural sector under the office of the First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, with the aim of elevating poverty and involving the women folk in agricultural activities in the country. The First Lady, represented by the wife of Speaker Hajia Fatima Tajuddin Abbas, distributed farm inputs and checks worth 500,000 naira each as grant to support 140 women in the northwestern state of the Federation.
I look forward to witness the impact of this intervention in the lives of our women farmers and the broader agricultural community across Nigeria.
About 100 women with special needs will also be supported with 100,000 naira each. This is to ensure that this lofty program cuts across all classes of women.
Hajia Zainab Nasarina Nathir Idris assured the women farmers that she will support them through the journey of self-reliance and independence through a sustained agricultural intervention program. Governor Nathir Idris applauded the First Lady's initiative, described it as a new step in renewed hope of women in the state.
Women bring unique perspectives, skills, and innovation to the table. And it is crucial that we tap into this potential to derive growth and development.
The winner of the best farm at the end of the farming season will go home with a cash sum of 20 million naira among other items. The event was attended by wives of governors of Sokoto, Kano, Jigawa, Katsina, Kaduna, and Zamfara State. In Birnin Kebbi, Abdul Mohammed Ba, NTA News.
And on the agricultural front, the Nigerian Armed Forces says its personnel are out to provide security for farmers as directed by the President. This is coming as the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, announced plans to establish defense farm for the armed forces. Musa Baba Aliyu reports.
To serve and protect the nation is their primary responsibility. This includes security for farmers to produce and ensure food security of the nation.
If you don't have food, if you can't eat, insecurity will thrive.
And this is the reason behind the visit of the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, to the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security. He further informed the Minister of the intention of establishing defense farm under the non-kinetic approach of the armed forces.
Together. Now, if you form this farm, it's just going to be another enhanced farming capabilities for the armed forces, for the citizens. And you know, part of our non-kinetic effort is also to establish and enhance food security wherever we are.
When you look at the general overview of the insecurity around the country, there is tremendous efforts that has been put, and we could see the successes that the armed forces has achieved within a short period of time.
The ministry pledged to assist in developing the farms as well as partnership in ensuring security in farming communities. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
And the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, in partnership with the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, is to educate farmers on weather advisory as it affects farming activities. This is coming as NIMET says the 2024 rainy season is yet to commence in most parts of the country. Musa Baba Aliyu reports that hotter temperatures are predicted in the coming days.
Since February 2024, Nigerians have been experiencing hot weather with temperatures going above 40 degrees Celsius in most parts of the country. It was predicted that the weather will remain warm above normal temperature till the end of May. The rising temperature is already having negative impact on vegetable production.
Then agricultural bulletin, which will release every 10 days.
And this brought about the partnership between the Ministry of Agriculture and the Nigerian Meteorological Agency.
Under the collaboration, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security has handed over to NIMET the ministry's 10 automatic weather stations to expand NIMET's capacity in data and information gathering for the agricultural sector.
The 2024 seasonal prediction will be broken down to include types of crops to be cultivated at a particular period and location throughout the season.
Farmers need to be equipped to make climate-informed decisions. Food inflation is now beyond economic tools. Climate change is driving inflations. As we can look at the inflation, full inflation, you ask yourself, the increasing temperature, what does that do to the agricultural products? So these things have effects on inflation.
It is predicted that the 2024 rainy season will commence in June or July in most northern states and will cease in October. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
This is news on NTA International. We take a break. Thanks for staying with us. The United Nations, European Union and partners are again committed to providing Nigeria the required technical support to effectively address climate challenges as Nigeria sets sight on the Conference of Parties in Abuja. This is coming at a one-day national review of the outcome of the 28th session of the Conference of Parties of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change in Abuja. Charles Alpha was there.
It's been 5 months now since Nigeria participated, along with other nations, in the 28th session of the Conference of the Party, COP28 in Dubai. There, several outcomes that would shape man's future and his environment were outlined, and with countries expected to implement the resolutions bordering on transitioning away from fossil fuels, global goal on adaptation, climate finance, and declaration to triple nuclear energy. What the National Council on Climate Change, the Ministry of Environment and foreign partners are doing here is to unpack the significant outcomes of the UN Convention and set Nigeria again on the path to Abuja, where COP29 will be holding.
Our participation of COP through statements, negotiations and other engagements reaffirm the need for strengthening collective climate change action across the 3 pillars of the UNFCCC.
COP28 reaffirmed our collective determination to tackle the essential threat caused by climate change, which has been clearly itemized by most of the speakers here.
Here we are as European Union, together with other partners, to walk that talk. I mean, to invest in the conditions that are making the arrival of investment in the renewable sector possible.
For the United Nations and a host of other foreign partners, it is another opportunity to strengthen technical partnership and to support Nigeria, facilitate inclusive participatory process to motivate action towards higher ambitious goals for Nigeria's transition. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Upholding freedom of expression and safety of journalists is a panacea for promoting national cohesion and overall democratic growth. This was part of the views expressed by stakeholders at the review and validation of curriculum developed for students in law faculties on freedom of expression and safety of journalists, organized by Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies and UNESCO. Judiciary correspondent Austin Anyebe reports.
Freedom of expression is a fundamental right enshrined in international and regional legal frameworks, though, like other rights, it's not absolute, as there are legitimate restrictions. However, the worry has been the reported cases of harassment, arrest, and intimidation of journalists in the course of performing their legitimate duties. This, according to legal experts, can be addressed through strengthening of rule of law and enhancing the capacity of judicial officers.
The curriculum actually contains, current information on the trends of case law and jurisprudence across the globe on how to promote, protect, and enforce the rights of journalists, freedom of expression, access to information, digital rights, and all the legitimate restrictions that courts across the globe.
Opinions, knowledge, and input provided by participants are of great value in guaranteeing that the curriculum adheres to the utmost levels of academic rigor and effectively tackles the ever-changing obstacles encountered by journalists.
Head of UNESCO Abuja office reiterates the organization's commitment to continue to build capacity of legal minds towards protecting the freedom of expression and safety of journalists.
It is true, the exercise of the right, that it is possible to ensure a well-informed citizenry, to ensure openness and transparency, and to hold those in power to account.
Solicitor General of the Federation and Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Justice, Director of Nigerian Law School, and others commended the curriculum, saying it will strengthen rule of law, safeguard journalists, and promote accountability in governance.
UNESCO and the Republic of Korea have launched the third phase of the Better Education for Africa's Rise Bear 3, a project that focuses on enhancing the skills and employability of young people on the continent. Comfort Fashion reports that Nigeria is amongst the 4 West African countries to benefit from this phase of the project, which will run till 2027.
Statistics by UNESCO revealed that governments globally face scarcity of labor in several economic domains due to aging population as well as huge deficiency in highly skilled manpower. This launch of the third phase of the Better Education for Africa's Rise, Bear 3, by UNESCO and the Korean Republic offers young people within the West African region, especially those from 4 selected countries, a better opportunity to access decent employment and the needed skills to be employers of labor in order to improve the socio-economic fortune of the African continent.
With its enormous potential, Africa is well positioned to close the skills gap in the world, and the need for skilled pilot, engineers, fashion designers, beauticians and other professionals is still growing.
We're further prepared our third prize to become a truly effective tailored support project that directly addresses the needs of each recipient country and signature project of UNESCO too.
With Nigeria, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire and Sierra Leone the beneficiaries of this phase of project. Nigeria's Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, said Nigeria takes priority in promoting youth development through various policies and programs.
The Ministry of Education has adopted 4 policy frameworks for implementation in the life of this government. We are already working with development partners around the country to develop the skill sets necessary for every level of education in Nigeria.
The main goal of all the initiative, all the activity is to promote access to technical and vocational education for youth with a focus on girls, women and vulnerable groups.
The launch of the Bear 3 marks the completion of the formulation phase of the project, and it will usher in the beginning of its implementation. Comfort Fashion, NTA News.
A fishing boat sank in the Zambezi River in central Mozambique, killing 8 people, including 6 children. Authorities say Tuesday that the incident in the Sofala province comes a week after a shipwreck killed almost 100 people, many of them children, around 1,000 kilometers further north. Nombro dos Santos, administrator of the Kaya district, told newsmen the boat was carrying about 12 people, mainly farmers, adding that 2 people survived and 2 others are still missing, while 6 of the dead were children. It will be recalled that on April 7, an overloaded makeshift ferry boat capsized, killing 98 people. Commander of the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, Mohammed Daglo, has declared his forces' readiness for a nationwide ceasefire and comprehensive peace negotiations. He made the statement during the 1-year anniversary of the outbreak of the war in Sudan. Uche Ugochukwu reports.
In a pre-recorded speech marking the 1-year anniversary of Sudan's war, leader of the country's Rapid Support Forces, Mohammed Daglo, emphasized their commitment to ending the war and establishing a civilian government. He stressed the RSF's peaceful intentions, highlighting their control of Darfur, Al Jazeera, most of Khartoum State, and parts of Kordofan and White Nile. However, Daglo expressed willingness for a ceasefire to allow humanitarian aid delivery and initiate serious political talks. He maintained a firm stance regarding self-defense against what he described as elements of the defunct regime within the army, intelligence service, and armed movements aligned with enemies of change. The RSF leader also emphasized the need for a singular, professional Sudanese national army, free from political influence and reflecting diversity in leadership and composition. He reiterated his call for negotiation to address the war's root causes, rectify grievances, and achieve a peaceful democratic transition, emphasizing the RSF's consistent opposition to war and their unwavering commitment to democratic transition and civilian governance. The commander outlined the war's devastating consequences, including the destruction of Khartoum and other areas, mass displacement, a humanitarian crisis, and widespread human rights violations. He further warned of the war's potential expansion within Africa, posing a threat to international peace and security. He, however, accused the previous regime and elements within the Sudanese army, led by General Buram, of initiating the war by attacking the RSF on April 16 last year, and called for an international investigation by the United Nations and African Union to determine who ignited the war and who perpetuates it. Uche Ugochukwu, NTA News.
The implementation of the Performance Management System, PMS, must be fast-tracked by all ministries. Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Folashade Yemieson, gave the charge at a one-day retreat for permanent secretaries. Hamman Jabani reports that the retreat examined the status report on the implementation of the PMS in core ministries, departments and agencies, the MDS.
The Performance Management System, which is the second pillar of the Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan 2025, came into force in core ministries in 2023. 1 year into the implementation, a retreat is organized to improve performance management, coordination and implementation of the presidential priorities, and ensure accountability in service delivery, evaluate the progress so far, and also adopt the service-wide key result areas for the 2024 performance management cycle. Permanent secretaries as accounting officers are expected to implement effective performance monitoring and reporting system, providing timely and accurate data to inform decision-making and drive organizational performance at both the individual and unit levels.
The permanent secretaries are doing their best, but the important thing is for them to work faster, and that's why I said that they must create a sense of urgency. There's no going back on the decision that has been made on PMS. Mr. President is keen on seeing both the organizational performance and also the employee performance. So it's important for all of us to key into it and drive it very, very fast.
And that's it on the news on NTA International. On behalf of Courage Ogeria, who's been on sign language, this is Nancy Godianguni, thanking you for watching.